Welcome back to For the Love of Men podcast. My name is Courtney Shand, and I am hosting with my dear friend, Brianna Mosier.
Hello.
She's so cool. Before we get started, I just want to remind you guys the intention of the show is to bring together men and women and create healthy, polarized relationship dynamics by understanding and honoring each other's natural masculine and feminine energetic core. We are so excited to talk today, but Bri, new friends who have not met you need to know how great you are. Do you want to tell them or do you want me?
Oh, you tell them.
Okay, so Bri is a really good friend of mine, and what I love most about her is that she is so good at just holding space for people to be where they are.
Thank you.
She doesn't try to move them along. She just speaks their power back to them. She does this in business, in relationships, when they're feeling wobbly, around money. She does this with sex and intimacy coaching, which is her zone of genius, and helping women feel more empowered in their body and release a lot of shame and old baggage.
Thank you.
If you haven't found her on Instagram, she's at Building Bri, B-R-I, and she puts out awesome, beautiful content.
You are too kind.
Yeah.
I was just thinking we should do more episodes around sex and intimacy.
Ooh.
Why haven't we brought it to the table? This is vital to relationship.
It is critical
We need
to
to talk about
relationships. I mean, one of the number one breakdowns in relationship. Yeah,
Sex
stay
and
tuned.
money. Yeah.
Sex and money,
Yep.
100%. Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
All right, we're going to put those on the docket, and if that interests
them
you,
down now.
she's writing them down. And if that interests you, send us a DM on TikTok. That's the best spot right now. Let us know your questions, and of course, we'll keep your anonymity as we always do with your questions. But we've got to bring that in.
Yeah.
Okay,
100%.
so that's the work I do. I work with female entrepreneurs on attracting healthy, empowered masculine partners and scaling their business. And you don't have to be both or either. You can be in either camp or both camps. Not mutually exclusive.
Great
Courtney, can I tell the people about you?
Please.
This is my very good friend, Courtney. She is genius at what I would say family structure and healing ancestral trauma. Similar methods that we use. She works somatically as well, so through the body, and helps correct kind of the inner child wounded feminine patterns to bring women into their empowered feminine energy and to bring men really rooted in their empowered masculine. And it's a lot of healing the dynamics that you've grown up with, from my understanding, so you can have more healthy functional homes.
Love that. I love that. Thank you so much.
She's also a dietitian, and she never talks about it, but she's very smart.
Thank you. Yes, I do. I love doing that. I love helping women heal their relationship with masculine energy through family dynamics and how that gets passed down and then projected onto our dating scene. So that is what I love helping women with. Cool. Before we dive in, this is like postscript.
Like pre
Yeah.
Pre-foreplay.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a lot of sex references coming on. Prepare yourself.
I love it. So just as a reminder, we have monthly coaching calls, which is a really great opportunity if you do want to come into a closed container with both of us working with you, kind of 2-on-1 on your situation, giving you some different vantage points, some new empowering language, some different perspectives, so that you can navigate that with more clarity and more of your personal power. That is available. We want to create that for you as a safe container for you to be as vulnerable and honest as you need to be. It's not going to be recorded. Tops 20 people. We're still doing half off discount to help with that. So feel free. The link is in the show notes if you want to sign up for that, or our email list. We are going to be compiling emails to send you regular content, regular information about what we have been up to, what we have available to support you with. We will be engaging with you in a little bit more of a private, contained way versus social media. Can be a little bit unruly.
To say the least. We had a video go viral the last week, and it's been thousands of comments. It's been wild.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I was just going to say, speaking of that, we are going to pick our favorite comments and feature them in the newsletter. The most empowered, integrated comments.
Yes.
Even though your clever ones are quite funny, and I love a little laugh, We like the integrated ones. And then you'll also get exclusive content when you're on the email list. Yep. So Courtney and I are going to create videos and content for you that does not get published anywhere else. So if you'd like to be on that email list, sign up via the show notes. We're stoked to bring that to you all. And let's get into it. It's been 5 minutes of housekeeping. Thank you for taking care of that.
Yep, love a good housekeeping.
We want to talk to you today about the difference between a masculine partner creating safety versus being non-threatening. And really, even outside of the partner dynamic, just how a man can present as either non-threatening or safe, which are distinctly different energies. This is going to be a two-parter because this plays into the nice guy dynamic, and this plays into when men share about how they've been friend-zoned and why. This is usually an element. So maybe 2 or 3 parts going on here. Yeah.
We haven't quite let it unfold completely, so we just wanted to get started hot off the press.
Hey, we're going to unfold it with you.
Yeah, this is raw. Okay, so start us off. Safety versus non-threatening.
Yeah, so when we talk about empowered masculine energy, one of the qualities is being the protector. And the heart of that is being the protector of her heart, in my eyes, right? Not just her physical safety, but emotionally protecting her as well, spiritually. And that's a very different energy. Protector energy, guardian energy, warrior energy is very different than non-threatening. So the way I think about it is, just putting this very bluntly, obviously there's more nuance here, but other women in my world are non-threatening. If I'm walking down the street with Courtney, she's non-threatening to me. But if we're walking down the street in an alleyway where it's unsafe, I love you, but I don't say Courtney's my protector. I feel a little bit safer with her because we're together, right? But she's generally non-threatening to me in that moment. A child would be non-threatening to me in that moment. But they're not protector energy. Courtney can throw some hands and some finger guns, as we've seen. But it feels very different than when I'm with a masculine partner or friend or father or brother or whoever it might be, or just a stronger masculine energy being, because Courtney is often in her feminine, that feels like protector energy. I know when I'm walking down the street with my man that my body actually softens because he's so empowered masculine. I know he would protect me. He would have my back. He's going to guide me, right? He will keep us safe. And that's what I feel from him, which is different than what I would feel if I was walking with a child, is probably the best example, who's non-threatening, but they're not going to protect me. Do you guys feel the difference in energy there? And you can see that nuance play out with different men that you date. Some men will feel like protectors. Some men will feel like perpetrators, and some men will feel non-threatening.
I love that. And I love the distinction because we talk so much about emotional safety, creating emotional safety for a woman. And I think what happens is men will resist it. They'll resist to this teaching or this kind of idea. And they're in our comments. That's what they say is, I'm going to get friend zoned for this. I'm going to be dismissed for this. Because they're not understanding the distinction between what we're saying. Safety very much feels like strength.
Yeah.
It also feels non-actively threatening, but I love what you said about like me or a child in that you do feel safe, but the threat is also not going to keep you safe if a genuine threat comes.
You're not going to keep me safe if a genuine threat comes.
Yes.
A child's not going to keep me safe if a threat comes.
Yes. So like that non-threatening energy is going out as well. It's going outward. And what you're looking for is that like really grounded, solid feeling of being someone that's like dense and taking up space, even physically, but energetically as well. And that can also have a very safe feeling and a very relaxing feeling to it, being in their presence.
Yeah. And I would actually say too, sometimes size is not even a factor.
No.
We're tall. I'm 5'9". Courtney's 5'9". We could have called this podcast the 2 5'9" Girls with Crowns who talk about dating and relationships, but that was too wordy, so we decided against it. And what we landed on was For the Love of Men. And I literally forgot what I was saying. What was I saying?
It's not about mass and density.
Right. It's not actually about your physical size. It's about an energy. I've been around men who are shorter or smaller than me, and their presence was so strong and felt so much bigger. It was like it came out of their body that I 100% saw them as my protector and felt softened and relaxed and safe in their presence.
Yes, yes. So there is a distinction, men, when we're talking about creating safety versus being non-threatening. We're not asking you to be a pushover or, I mean, it's like energetically impotent really is the vibe that you're hearing what we're asking for. What we're wanting is your full presence, that full, solid, energetic, I am here, I am
rooted.
I am grounded in this moment with you, and I am aware of what's happening, and I am on your team.
And I'm tuned into you.
I'm on your team. I'm aware of what's happening for you, within you, and I'm here for it.
Within you. It's almost like penetrating her heart as well.
Yes.
And I think that's what's getting misinterpreted, because you're right. When typically it's on TikTok that we get the feedback. If you listen to the podcast, you're our people. You get it. You love it. We get so much good feedback from you.
We love you in our comments.
We love it.
Yeah.
Please comment more. Help us.
It's not a cry for help, but it is really fun to see you in our comments too. We love seeing your names pop up. So.
No, it is, and I'm just in a playful mood right now. That's all that you're getting. But Courtney, what was I saying?
The energy of
not perpetrating, penetrating her heart.
Yes.
So in a lot of the comments, men are misunderstanding and essentially saying, men who are in touch with their emotions and are emotionally connected with their woman, it makes them weaker, or they almost, I don't like this phrase, but they think of it as like they're sissies, sort of. There's a naughtier word I could have used. And that is not the experience. On the other side of a man who is emotionally intelligent and grounded and rooted and holds space for you, that is the hottest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
I can't emphasize it enough.
Yeah.
In fact, it's even like a do not pass go, do not collect $200. It's a non-start. For a lot of women, myself included, especially an empowered feminine woman who is in touch with her emotions, if she can't feel his heart or him leaning into her heart, it's going to be very hard for her to open and feel safe. She needs to know that you're going to be the warrior of her heart, that you're going to penetrate her heart, that you're going to come in with big, grounded, sturdy, I am not going anywhere, I've got your back energy. If you're turned on, that's appropriate.
Say more.
That's all I've got to say.
Notice your physiology when you're around different men. You will see it has nothing to do with physical size. It is an energetic capacity for them to be able to be present and to see all of you. The more that you feel safe with them, I love that you always bring this up too, that your
safety,
your vagus nerve controls your arousal state as well. All of our body is kind of controlled by this vagus nerve, and the more calm and relaxed it is, the more toned it is, the more we have control with it and practice kind of like regulating that. The people that we regulate well with, we are going to be more emotionally available with. We're going to be more physically available to. They go hand in hand, men. So there is a very distinct difference between the alpha male, the macho protector. That's actually very perpetrator energy in my experience.
Usually
the alpha
wounded.
male feels so like there's
abrasive.
No part of me that feels safe to open because I know I'm going to get attacked. That warrior energy will be coming at me.
Yep.
It will not be coming to defend me.
Yes.
It's coming at me. So there is no part of me that wants to open. My heart, my body, nothing wants to open when I'm around the alpha male. And this isn't to create a shame for men who really are into that scene. This is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about alpha versus beta. We're talking about the integration of masculine energy in a way that actually creates a feeling of safety within a woman's entire presence and being. And that's very different than what you think of as the simp or the trying to think of the words that they're using in the comments. The friend, the beta male.
Right. They're like, this is how you get friend zoned, how you be a beta. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that's making a little bit of distinction. There's kind of like categories. It's kind of like a spectrum almost. Right. And what tends to happen with the non-threatening people is that they hear, I'm being non-threatening, but what typically will happen is that they have their own emotional injuries that are keeping them from stepping into their full masculinity.
And trusting themselves.
Which means that I can't actually trust you either.
A moment of silence for Courtney's genius. Always need it. Every episode.
Thank you.
It's true. Is there more you want to say?
No, go for it.
You can kind of categorize because you get both spectrums. So if you haven't listened to episode 4 and 5, where we discern wounded versus healthy feminine energy and masculine energy, go check that out. And this will make more sense. On the more feminine energy side of the spectrum, you will get non-threatening, not necessarily safe, but you will get non-threatening. We'll do the next episode on this, but this is where polarity can get compromised because there's not chemistry. You need a strong masculine pole and a strong feminine pole for there to be chemistry. So if a man is very on this side, that might be why you're feeling like, I don't feel the magnetism with him, right? And then this other extreme end, you've got wounded masculine. And I've dated this type. And I know the exact energy Courtney is talking about. And once you've dated it, you can feel it viscerally when you're around different types of men. Women, especially, we know our bodies tell us. They signal us. Safe, non-threatening, protector. What's the energy I'm feeling from this person? And when you've met all those types, you can discern it. So I love that you brought up the alpha male. Personally, for me, when someone says, like, yeah, I'm an alpha male, it's a red flag. I'm just going to say it bluntly. Like, what are you trying to prove? Why do you... Because when I've interacted with men who you could categorize, which I wouldn't, but you could put in that category of alpha male, they didn't have to say anything. You felt it from them. In fact, they wouldn't say it because they would be like, that feels a little egotistical, right? Why am I saying that about myself? It feels a little arrogant at times. Not to shame anyone that uses that term, but the alpha male is usually a bit more wounded and less integrated with his empowered feminine, which means he will wince when we say, be the penetrator of her heart. When we say to be emotionally attuned to her, to have empathy, to hear where she's coming from, to validate her feelings, he will go, I don't know if I can do that. Yeah.
And that fear that he is not going to be able to provide that will keep him from behaving in that way. It's going to block himself. She will not open to him, and he will have to use more force
to try to force her to open,
because he will not lean into that vulnerability of doing that empathetic connecting with her. Men who are truly powerful know that you can't force a woman to open, and to do so is a violation of their own code of conduct. They won't violate it themselves. And so knowing that, they don't have to use force, which is why they won't call themselves an alpha male typically. They know they're the leader, and they just walk around with this confident essence or
BDE.
Yeah. For real. They just know. They walk in and you feel them walk in the room, and you just know, hey, I'm safe. It's not even my man, but I know he sees what's happening, and one in a room, you can feel them.
Which never has to do with size. It is literally an energy.
Right.
Truly. And a healthy, integrated man, magnetic to empowered feminine.
Yes.
Just like Courtney said, a woman who knows her boundaries will feel his forcefulness, and it's actually going to be abrasive. And I would be willing to bet that those men would interpret that woman as masculine because she's not opening to him, and he would say, oh, she's too masculine, she's too guarded,
she's not submissive enough, she's not feminine enough.
Really empowered masculine men, they say it in a different way. I hear you what you're asking for when you say be more feminine, but empowered masculine men are going to be asking, instead of saying why isn't she more feminine, they're going to say, how can I make her feel safer? How can I help her open? How can I help her soften? Because I'll tell you a not so secret, almost every woman on this planet, I would venture every woman on this planet has trauma with the masculine. And a lot of us are doing our work to heal that. It's our responsibility. It's my devotion to heal that and stay open. So his ask will internally be, how can I help her feel safe and open?
Yeah. I love that you said that, because it's, having been around men long enough, they sound very different. And the men who are trying to be more alpha and are putting that on are going to sound more aggressive and more abrasive than men who are truly empowered, because they're going to go from a point of safety and creating a feeling of safety within someone. They almost feel like what you reveal to them is an entrusted gift, is what it feels like for me to open in the presence of an empowered man. It feels like he is being honored with my truth and my presence, versus a man who is coming from this place of trying to be the protector but is actually the perpetrator in disguise. It will feel like, why are you not, what, like, what's happening, what are you needing? And it's not, it's a little bit more, he's not as sensitive to my boundaries. When I speak up for what I need, it will be too much, or or masculine. Yeah. Like, I'm tired of fighting you. I don't want to fight you on this.
Well, yeah, but the reason she's in her masculine is because she's not safe. Yeah. Her internal protector is going, don't open to him, honey. No.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Which is kind of I love that we've separated these into 3 categories. The perpetrator is for sure kind of the wolf in sheep's clothing, the alpha man who is not fully integrated. And again, no shame on them, because they can be doing their work in the same way that we are trying on new boundaries that aren't necessarily authentic to us yet.
Yep.
That might be where they're at. No judgment. But you will feel different in that category, dealing with a man who's there versus an integrated man, versus a man who's kind of more on the feminine end of the spectrum, who's very non-threatening, but doesn't feel like a protector either.
Yeah.
And the goal is to integrate those 2 sides to the middle so that we can create that safety that we're looking for.
Yeah, and if you want more support and context on this, if you want to share what's going on in your world and how to create this discernment that unfortunately we've learned the hard way, come to our monthly group coaching call. We've got your back. We want to help you parse this out and protect yourself, and also learn when it's safe to lean in, right? You can tell us the specific situation, and we will be very honest with you, as we are with each other all the time, and our clients all the time, around, is this person safe to open with? Do we need to do a little bit more feminine testing, if you will, to see if there's give a little, see how they respond, so we're happy to support you in that.
Yeah, I love that. There's always a third option. It's not a open or closed. It's a, like, open a little and then see what happens.
See how your body responds. That's a huge part of being in the feminine is my body expanding or contracting? Well, I'm getting into the coaching space now,
but you're a genius at it. So
thank you. We'd love to see you at the call.
Monthly coaching call would be a great place to parse this out. Anything else?
I think this is perfect. Stay tuned for part 2 and part 3, where we talk about polarity and chemistry. If you've ever been on a date and you feel like just a friend vibe with him, we're going to unpack that for you. Ooh. And the nice guy dynamic.
Yeah. That's
and if you want to
dynamic.
Yeah, join our newsletter also. Please.
We got lots of great stuff coming out, so you'll want to catch it there for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So they love this. They love your work. I've already bragged about your work. Is there anything that you want to share that you have active right now that they can hop into, or anything that's lighting you up that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, if you're a woman wanting to attract healthy love, I have a 3-video training offer for $222 on attracting healthy love. And I will take you through the somatic release process to start healing that. If you're someone who identifies with feeling wounded by collective masculine energy and you really want to let that guard down so you can open to men who are empowered, masculine, and safe while keeping a juicy polarized relationship, right? Not bringing in, super feminine partners, but bringing in that really juicy, empowered, masculine man. I would encourage you to grab those video trainings. Those are juicy. And I got so many messages from clients being like, how do I keep this? This is amazing. I feel such breakthroughs. So
amazing.
So good. And then go to my website, buildingbrie.com, or in the show notes. You'll find all that stuff. Courtney, what you got going on?
I think if this resonated with you, I think my program Arise is going to be a perfect fit for what you're looking for, because part of what we do with healing our relationship to masculine energy is learning to identify safe versus human and versus wounded. So being able to distinguish and have discernment about how your body's feeling in each of those categories is going to be one of the most powerful tools, if not the most powerful tool that I have learned in navigating dating to make sure that you are opening in spaces that don't re-traumatize you and create more unnecessary injury. Being able to spot that from a distance, from a safe distance, before you open your heart wide open is one of the healthiest things that you can do to integrate those skills in yourself. So that there's a whole module about that in Arise. I love helping women discern that. And like you said, with the group coaching call, being able to see the context and having someone's eyes who have been in situations like that sometimes can be really empowering, because when you're in it, it just feels foggy. And sometimes chaotic. I have to call Bree, or she'll call me. We pass things back and forth of like, I need some clarity here. So it's that's really the goal.
Brilliant coach, educated friends.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. You're very held,
100%. But if that's something that you're looking for, some discernment, some skills around that to develop that, Arise would be a really great fit for that. So
get them both.
True. I mean,
just get them both.
What's really interesting is we have similar modalities and yet very different ways of teaching.
Experiences,
so I can promise you that it will not be the same to do both, and it will not be double dipping. And
it's not. We have different ways of teaching.
Yeah.
Similar goals, but different avenues.
Yes.
That one may resonate more than the other, but why not just grab both?
Right.
Spoil yourself.
Yes.
Treat yourself.
Yes. I've got it on self-study too. If you're in self-study mode, or if you want the mentorship, I've got the one-to-one option open.
We should make a bundle for them eventually.
Ooh, I love that idea.
Goodies from you and goodies from me. Genius. All right. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for listening. If you love the show, please share the show, join the newsletter, all that good stuff. Comment on TikTok and EMs. Please get in the comments for us. All right. We will see you next week.